welcome to Book Pub and Publishing Our Children's Stories. My name is Jessie, and I am the author of several different books here at Publishing Our Children's Stories, but I'm also a ghost publisher for many. And that's what we're going to focus on, is talking about self-publishing, and today, more specifically, talking about the mistakes of self-publishing and how to avoid those mistakes. So there are 3 mistakes that I know that I made right on my first book. The first one, and probably the most difficult one to get past, in my opinion, is the marketing. I love to market. I enjoy marketing, but that wasn't the case when I first started. The hardest thing for me was to tell anybody that I published a book. It took me a couple of years to tell somebody that I published a book. And at that point, you know, you don't have the momentum going for that book. You've moved past, you're working on something else, and it's all but forgotten. And so my number one mistake that I want to talk about is market your book. Market your book before you even publish it. Market it big time once it's published, and continue to market it while you're working on your next project. So market, market, market. And when I'm talking about marketing, I'm not saying that you need to, you know, push the sales and sales, but create a brand around it. Just create around the book a feeling, so that, I mean, that's really more of what marketing is. Just creating this brand and this awareness around your book itself, instead of just pushing the sales. You just want others to know. But marketing was the hardest thing for me to get past, because I was too embarrassed or not confident enough in my abilities as a writer and as a producer of this children's book. And so therefore I didn't tell anybody. Therefore you don't get any sales when you don't tell anybody. And nobody knows, you don't make any income off of it. So, and the reason that I started the book, honestly, was not so much for creating the sales, but more of a project with my children. And we're creating story ideas together, and I wanted to implement that into an additional income stream for my family, because when I first started, I was off work because I had my youngest. And I'm like, oh, this would be a great opportunity for me to build another income stream. We could really use it. And so really it was just a combination of the two. But how on earth was I going to create that income stream if I didn't tell anybody that I created a book, that I created a children's book? So number 1, market the book. And then number 2 is really easy and really obvious, but so often overlooked. It's editing, punctuation, spelling, grammatical errors, any typographical errors. Really, any editing can be done, especially with the picture books. Go to just have somebody that reads a lot of picture books, reads a lot, period. Have them edit the book. Go to a librarian, go to some teachers and have some of the teachers do the editing for you. Have a grad student edit for you. If you hire an editor, it's really inexpensive to have an editor take a look at a picture book. Not a lot of words. It's much easier than somebody who's going to edit a novel. And it's worth the money to make sure that you don't have those mistakes. So first, marketing, 2, editing. Get it done. Make sure the flow of the story is, you know, in a complete thought. Just make sure that you have a great transition and that the story is being told. And then, of course, you have the formatting and the editing. So number 3, the formatting and layout, I guess, the formatting of the book. Make sure that you have a beautiful cover, real eye-popping cover that is going to catch the eye of the person that's purchasing the book, depending on what age group that you're guiding towards. If you are writing for a younger age group, which is the picture book you often are, but if you're running through a younger age group, you also want to attract to the adult who's most likely going to be the one purchasing it. So those are all things that you're going to need to keep in mind. But the format of the book, not just the cover, but you need to get past that cover, because that cover you're going to spend some money on. You're going to want to invest in a quality designer for your cover. And then the title has got to be a powerful title name, something that really catches them and that tells them what they're getting, but not telling them the story. And then also the layout within. So the interior layout, you want it to be balanced, and you want it to include everything like your copyright pages and your dedication page, your title page, and make sure that the transition is smooth and that everything is really balanced within the interior of the book. Are you using page numbers on there? And is the font too big? Is the font the right size? Is it overwhelming compared to the illustrations? And making sure, of course, that your illustrations and your story itself, the storyline, is going hand in hand and that they're lined up properly. So one isn't tilted and, on the opposite page is way off. So the formatting and layout, something that's really appealing to the eyes, is important as well. So 3 main mistakes, very easy to fix, is marketing. Know who your market is, know how you're going to distribute it. And of course, if you are going to distribute it in multiple, if you're going to sell it in multiple distribution markets, then make sure that you purchase your ISBN and you don't, as a self-publisher, that you don't just rely on, say, KDP. Because KDP, which used to be CreateSpace, you could just get your ISBN from them, which is actually their ISBN, but you're using it. Well, if you do that, then you don't get to go use different distribution outlets. So you are not going to be able to go to iCloud or iStore or somewhere else and publish your book, or Ingram Sparks to publish your book, because KDP is the one that actually owns that ISBN number. So easy solution. It costs you, but it's an easy solution. So for, what is it, like $150, $125, something like that, you can buy an ISBN number from myidentifiers.com. That's the web address, myidentifiers.com. But the website is Bowker. So if you're interested in that, again, myidentifiers.com, but you can get an ISBN through KDP. I just highly suggest that you purchase it. And if you're going to have multiple formats of the book, so if you're going to have an ebook and you're going to have a hardcover, maybe a soft cover book, then you're going to need an ISBN number for each of those. But again, when you're doing the layouts of each of them are going to be just a little bit different, and you need to make sure that they're just really comfortable to the eyes and that you're not overstressing them, that something doesn't pop out when it shouldn't pop out. Layout and format is very important. And yes, you can hire somebody to do that layout and format for you. So that's one thing. As a ghost publisher, that's what I do, is I will lay out and I will format the book for you. I will make sure that the pictures and that the storyline go hand in hand to go together, that they're really balanced, and get the copyright page in there, get the dedication page in there, get the cover set up, get the back cover set up as well, and everything is lined up. Those are all things that you're going to need to do, and you want to make sure that it's done well. But you can hire all of these, but I highly suggest, if you're going to do anything yourself, the marketing is key. At some point, you're going to do at some level of marketing. Even if you hire somebody to do the majority of the marketing for you, marketing yourself is key, because it is part of you. That book is your story. And if you have somebody else do it, it loses the connection with the other individual. So please don't make those mistakes. You've got marketing, you've got the layout and the format, and of course, you've got the editing. Take care. I hope that's helpful. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Writing Children's Books, where we'll talk a lot about writing, but even more so about publishing and marketing your children's book. And don't forget, if you like it, please give it a thumbs up and share it. And then, of course, you can come follow us on our Facebook channel, which is Kids Book Pub. So facebook.com/Kids Book Pub. If you are interested in marketing your book, you can reach out to me on Learn from Reading on our Facebook channel. And we do videos for all children's book reviews as well. So you can check that out. Thank you so much for joining me today.